Could this be a push? Could this be a final push for a sign of things to come? Lynn Roberts, head coach, LA Sparks, planting seeds in the ground for Caitlin Clark to blossom and eventually put on a LA Sparks uniform. The talks were once hot. They might be heating up again soon.
Officially, it's a disaster. The WNBA as a whole has just been thrust into the greatest crisis in women's basketball history, and the Indiana Fever organization is in complete fear tonight. These days, the rumors are more than just whispers made in private. They've taken over the top pages. According to reports, Caitlin Clark is getting ready to quit the Indiana Fever. According to shocking claims, Lynn Roberts and the Los Angeles Sparks have just intervened with a huge, astounding, multi-million-dollar offer to save the generational phenom from what sources describe as an unhealthy, dysfunctional system in Indiana. The WNBA commissioner is furious because of the astounding revelations that are emerging from this developing issue. Nobody anticipated this, but it makes perfect sense given the complete breakdown of Caitlin Clark's relationship with her own coaching staff. She has been let down by the system. She has been misled by the management. And now the final result is taking place. The Indiana Fever are in danger of losing the best player the team has ever had. You are totally unaware of the actual conflict taking place behind the scenes if you believe this to be merely a typical trade rumor. Tonight, we'll reveal the multi-million-dollar covert drive from Los Angeles, the precise cause of the Indiana front office's collapse, and how this one startling decision is going to permanently alter the league.
They're off the floor. I just don't think that on the floor, it's a good mix. I think they just see the game through two different lenses. And we have been yearning and calling for Stephanie White to actually stand up for, represent, and be front and center for Caitlin Clark. And she's refused to do it at every turn outside of a 30-second clip post the Alyssa Thomas situation, in which she backtracked on everything she said and made Alyssa Thomas the victim when her superstar point guard was the victim. It just makes no sense how Stephanie White has gone about this. And you see the things that LA Sparks doing. You got Cameron Brink, who's friends with Caitlin Clark. You got Kate Money Martin, who's best friends with Caitlin Clark. Sophie Cunningham will be a free agent at the end of this season. Hey, Sophie Lexica making her way downtown. Look.
However, you must consider the ongoing, unacceptable betrayal Caitlin Clark has experienced from her own coaching staff in order to fully see why she is prepared to pack her bags and go to Los Angeles. Fans have been horrified for months as the coaching staff did nothing but watch. The malicious hits were visible to us. The obvious, deadly fouls were visible to us. While Clark's coach sat silently on the bench, refusing to stand up for her, call out the league, or defend the franchise player, we witnessed opponents targeting her on the court with the intention of causing harm. However, it didn't end there. The coaching staff's use of fictitious ailment reports to control her playing time, benching a fully healthy superstar under the pretense of medical management, was the tipping point. Although it was a well-thought-out attempt to establish control, the outcome was disastrous. According to reports, Clark's team has had enough of the lies. The Indiana facility's degree of disrespect has escalated to an irreversible level.
It just has to do better, and we have to invest in those areas. The technology can get better. We can treat the referees a little bit better, pay them like they're full-time employees. I think things like that, and I think a lot has obviously come after that. And as I've stood up here and said before, like the harassment, the hate, none of that is okay. That goes for the opposing team we play. That goes for my teammates. That goes for my coaches. There should never be a question of character. Like I've always stood up here and said that, and that's truly what I believe. That's how I was raised. So, none of that is okay, and I don't want anybody to ever experience that. I think it can be really frustrating to me at times, and I think it's difficult. I think a lot of people sometimes think I'm a robot. I'm not a robot. I have emotions, I have feelings, and it can be really difficult to go through a lot of that. And, I'm 24 years old trying to navigate a lot, and I think at times I've been in this world for 4 years now, and you would never change any of it, but there are times that it is hard, and there are times that, it probably affects me a little bit more than I do put on. And, I would never change any of that for the world, but I think it's important that people do remember that part of it too. So
you cannot expect a generational talent to stick with a jersey if you treat her like a liability. Instead of breaking her spirit and subduing her, the coaching staff ruin the future of a team. Lynn Roberts and the Los Angeles Sparks take advantage of the turmoil precisely at that point. There is blood in the water, according to the Sparks Group. They are moving in with an unprecedented push after witnessing a poorly mishandled superstar being actively undermined by her own staff. According to people close to the matter, LA is getting ready to make a huge, historic trade offer and financing package that would completely reset the market. When Lynn Roberts made subtle, startling allusions regarding Clark, the basketball world took notice. She told the league as a whole that Los Angeles is prepared to offer the superior coaching, protection, and market size that Indiana utterly failed to provide. The drama is tremendous, yet the business rationale is perfect. According to insiders, additional prominent figures, such as Sophie Cunningham, are now being included in the discussion after witnessing the catastrophe in Indiana and understanding that a significant change in power is imminent. The Sparks are looking for more than just a player. They are attempting to control the WNBA's entire future. And their most powerful tool is Indiana's own inept coaching.
When you think about like the passion that these players have and their want to, how do you marry that with the execution that you just talked about in this film session to actually win games?
Yeah, and that's the issue right now is the ability to push through and get out of our own way on some level. But there's an element of toughness and effort that isn't consistent. And last night we just looked disconnected. Maybe that's because we sat out 8 days, didn't play. But I don't like using excuses. We got to be better. We're pros. We all have a job to do. We got to show up and do it better. And like I've said many, many times, the good news is today it's all about Indiana. We got to turn the page, learn from what we learned from what we saw last night. But that's not going to win any games. The level of connectedness, the max, second and third efforts. If we don't have those, it's not going to be good. But we have the talent needed, even with KP out, even with Cam out, to be more competitive than that.
Yeah. During this stretch, talk to me about just the decision today to just like practice and just say, we're just going to watch film. If you want to shoot a little bit, you can shoot a little bit, but not even really do too much on court and just say like, this is what we got to do. Here it is. Let's go do it.
And that's the reality at this point in the season too. Like we don't need to go through our plays right now today and wear them down physically. It's mentally having the focus and the intensity needed to execute. It's that simple. Now, it's hard to do, but I'm not saying it's simple to do, but it's a simple fix. Like that's what it is. Being in the right coverages, whatever it is, offensively being where we need to be. Like, do your job, all of us.
The WNBA commissioner is incensed and thoroughly taken aback by the magnitude of this backroom manipulation. This kind of situation, in which a star player is forcing her way out of a team because of internal deceit and coaching ineptitude, is a nightmare scenario for league headquarters. According to reports, the commissioner is requesting prompt responses from the Indiana front office, raising concerns about how a coaching staff may alienate the sport's most recognizable player on their own. The strain on managing Fever is now completely unsustainable. They're torn between a superstar player who is already psychologically checked out, an angry fan base demanding quick terminations, and an infuriated league office. The coach's career at Indiana is essentially over. The locker room is broken, and the brand identity is destroyed. They ended up ruining their own careers because they believed they could manipulate Caitlin Clark through strange constraints and media spin.
Well, I believe the vote is a mix between like the fan vote and then players and media, but it still just didn't work out in their favor. I mean, what else does a person have to do if they're averaging 24 points, 6 assists, a 5'8" guard shooting above 50% from the field? Like, what else can you do?
Other than be super active on social media, nothing. Like that seems to be what the parameters are. So, but KP's about winning. She's about being great, being excellent. She'll take it in stride.
What are you going to, if you haven't been able to talk to her about it yet, when you do, what are you going to say to her about it? Because, I mean, she's having a season that is worthy of being an all-star starter. Well, MVP, but an all-star starter just for the base level.
I haven't talked to her yet about it. I'll see how that conversation goes.
Okay.
Listen, man, Kelsey Plum got did dirty, just as Caitlin Clark got did dirty. We all know they rigged the fan voting for Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers jumped 400,000 votes in like 3 days. We all know it was rigged. It was scammy. They just didn't want Caitlin Clark to be the captain. But the Los Angeles Sparks, I think Caitlin Clark in LA would be a beautiful thing. And it's going to be very, 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 very interesting to see how this thing plays out in Indy. I think how the season finishes up is going to play a major part. And I think regardless of how things go, this is the very last season you'll see Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark as teammates. This is it. And I think the LA Sparks are planting seeds in the ground and prepping for a move to bring Caitlin Clark to Los Angeles.
The consequences of this catastrophe will be enormous, and time is officially running out. The multi-million-dollar LA Sparks transaction will become inevitable if the Indiana Fever are unable to rescue this partnership in the coming days. Indiana's Caitlin Clark period is crumbling due to egotism, dishonesty, and poor leadership. Will the front management make the last-ditch effort to remove every member of the coaching staff in an attempt to convince Clark to stay?
We willing to build up something nice for you over here. We willing to make it happen. What did the LA Sparks do? They have signed Kate Martin to a full-on standard contract. No more developmental stuff, no more of that. Kate Money Martin is fully on the squad. Squad. She's fully there. Is this a seed being planted in the ground for Caitlin Clark to eventually join the LA Sparks? The heats are heating up. The talks are heating up. The talks are heating up, and I think this is a great move for the LA Sparks. Okay, this is also that was courtesy of from the LA Sparks. They posted that. Just Women's Sports posted after.
Or is it too late to prevent the league from being dominated by the Los Angeles juggernaut? The sports world will never be the same since the drama has reached its pinnacle. You won't want to miss the next big leak in this trade war, so make sure you click the subscribe button and enable notifications.